All right, welcome back, everybody. It's your host, Mr. Hollywood, and my
Hollywood,
co-host, shit, Hernie Hern, because he stays
let's
Hernie.
go. You know what that
Uh,
is?
yeah, I just want to apologize for not uploading a podcast this past week. I was out of town. I
Yeah,
rushed to the airport, forgot to bring all my shit with me, and yeah, I just
right, right,
didn't
right.
have the time, unfortunately.
Yeah,
It's my bad.
yeah,
My bad.
yeah. And then on my part, I could have did it by myself, but with the government shutdown and everything, I haven't got my food stamps and like all the stuff I need to, because I get a full meal before the pod, and I just don't feel right if I'm on an empty stomach. Just don't feel right, so just kind of said fuck it. Uh, it was so funny, man.
You
Government
got that
shutdown's a real
Hernie.
thing, man.
You
TSA,
got
it's all bad.
that Hernie special, huh?
Damn right, boy. Damn right.
It's a couple stops. But yeah, let's get straight into it.
Let's go.
Ern, lead it from here, big dog. What we talking
Yeah,
about?
we want to talk a little bit about college football. Pretty big weekend in terms of like some of the games we've had this past weekend. The obvious one is like Texas, Oklahoma, huge matchup in the SEC. Your boy Arch Manning actually looks somewhat decent. He's had a couple weeks now where I don't know what everyone was talking about him being like a number one overall pick. But I thought
Yeah,
that game was like pretty good one from him. On the other side of the Oklahoma, John Mateer, who's their starter, he came back 12 days after he broke his thumb, on his throwing hand, and you could tell.
yeah,
I think that's probably a game that they probably,
could have won.
they see the
Could have
result.
won.
I think they would have probably started the backup if they knew, like, hey, he's not going to look that great. I think
Hmm.
like maybe 10 minutes into the first quarter, like he literally got slammed on that thumb, like a helmet slammed into his thumb, like so. I'm sure after that point he was probably fucked. Like probably couldn't
Yeah,
even feel anything. Um, and then we had a couple other games. Michigan USC. Michigan, it's not looking good for Shawn Moore. USC's looking somewhat like a Big Ten team finally after almost 4 or 5 years with Lincoln Riley. UCLA's still making big things happen with them. Indiana. Indiana's been a team last year. They were really good. They just weren't that good in terms of the rest of the top dogs in college football. And this year, they actually upsetted Oregon. And I mean, that's Oregon, and everyone's been talking about them being national title favorites. So that was a pretty big game for them. And then on the other side, like outside of the games itself, James Franklin, Penn State's head coach,
finally
he
got
got
fired.
fired because he couldn't win any big games, was pretty much what everyone said. He can't win any big games, so you should just shit can him. Um, and obviously, we'll get into my thoughts on that. But Rigo, you got anything for college football? Like any thoughts immediately
Um,
to your head?
the only one I could really think of is Arch Manning.
Yeah,
Obviously, it's
let's get into it.
biggest thing since Johnny Manziel, I would say. As far as
Yeah,
like
like hype.
hype, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
Johnny definitely made a name for himself. Arch Manning didn't really have to do that because everyone else was doing it for him. Obviously,
yeah.
because Eli
The
brothers.
last name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um. So that's something I really want to talk about as far as like I wouldn't necessarily blame him for all the hype he's gotten just because obviously everyone does it for him and his uncle and his dad are very prestigious. They made a name for themselves already in football, so like a lot of people are like, hey, quick to be like he's gonna be number one overall pick, and uh, all these he's gonna be so great in college, and he should have started over fucking Cuban years from the beginning, and there was so much hype around him that when he actually gets to start, well, it's like his first start as a starting quarterback in college, right, for Texas this year. And you definitely could see him fucking struggling. I mean, he's losing games that you would obviously should win, especially when you have so much hype around you. And then to really hit on it was with the Oklahoma game. Uh, I wouldn't even give him that much praise, just because it's one of those games where for me it's like I wanted to see a little bit more from him. And be like, okay, like he can really carry the team on his back. I mean, you're going against a hurt quarterback already. I mean, it's not really much you can fucking you don't really have much competition when the other opposing quarterback's hurt. Um, and you're already struggling to fucking win the game. And that's I feel like
Yeah.
that first half of the game, he struggled tremendously. I mean, they weren't really doing much on either side of the ball. I mean, obviously he had his few times where he scored and did what he had to do, but for me, I don't know. I think Q Ewers is I mean not Q Ewers, Arch Manning as of right now is definitely nowhere near a first round pick. Uh, and a little bit yeah, I don't know. It's just not it for me right now. Hopefully, you can change it by next year or the end of the season, really start to pick up and find a stride. But Arch Manning, it's not that dude for me right now.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. For me, when I first heard, like, everyone was like, because he is draft eligible this year. That's why kind of everyone in the summer was talking about him being the number one pick. And obviously, it really goes to, like you said, like his last name. His two uncles played. His grandpa was in the NFL. So there's three guys right there that were in the NFL. His dad was like a really good high school player who basically got diagnosed with like a spinal condition, and that's why he couldn't play football. But he was playing. He was a whoa, he was a wide receiver in high school, and probably would have been a really good wide receiver going up to the next level. And then I don't know if he would have made it to the NFL, but so yeah, obviously the family pedigree um, really kind of like pushed him a lot. He did get a couple starts last year, I think, because Quinn was out for a couple games last year. And he looked okay. He didn't look like anything great. And then the same with this year, right? Like he played some games, he looked okay. Some games he had, he flashed a little bit. And then you look at like that Florida game, like he looked like shit. Um, and then they come back this week and they play Oklahoma. And like you said, first half, he really didn't do much. You just kind of like, just managing the offense. Second half, he definitely stepped it up a little bit, but he didn't show a whole lot. So he's definitely a guy. He's probably coming back to school next year. So it'll be something where, to me, unless he wins a national championship here, um, and the Heisman, which he shouldn't win either of those this year, he should be back to school, and that's where I think everyone's gonna really be like, all right, this is the year he's gonna take that step. Um, we'll see.
Yeah. Uh, hope to see a lot more from him this year and next year
Yeah.
too. You can find his stride.
Any
Um,
thoughts? Any thoughts on James Franklin getting let go?
um,
Like, do you feel
I'd
like
say
it? Like, I guess I'll speak first, and then maybe like it'll help you kind of see where you're at. Like, I feel like like, was it the right reason to fire him? Yes. Would I have fired him mid-season? No. Even though he lost three, to me, like everyone says, he lost 3 games in a row. They had no choice. He couldn't win the big game. It's like, well, that Oregon game was tough. They had an opportunity. Like it went to overtime, and fucking, I don't think it was his fault. It was Drew Aller's fault. Drew Aller threw a pick, and that was the game. The next week, obviously, they're 20-point favorites going against UCLA. That's like a typical letdown game. You played like a really big opponent. You let it all out on the field. The next week, you're probably not going to bring your best shit, and that's what happened. They didn't look good. Now, obviously, it was a fucking blowout. The score makes it look a lot closer, but it was a blowout against UCLA. Uh, and then they lost a close one this past weekend against Northwestern. And Drew Aller, I mean, their quarterback, that's pretty much like the guy for their offense. Like, he's the one that kind of conducts everything. He got hurt. And, obviously, that has to play somewhat of a role. So I do think it was a little unfair to fire him mid-season. I don't think he deserved that. He brought he won a conference championship with them. He took them to the playoff this past year. Kind of made a run, and a lot of people thought that they were going to go all the way, but they had a couple injuries in that playoff run, and it didn't happen with Abdul Carter and some of the other guys. And um, so I do feel like, yeah, was his time up? Probably. I just feel like he didn't, for what he did for that program. I didn't think he deserved to just get shit canned middle of the year. But I guess maybe their thinking is it'll bring a spark like it did for UCLA and they'll win out or something. But I have a
yeah.
hard time seeing that happen.
Yeah, I think as far as like what he kind of done for the program, how long he's been there, I think the way he got fired was wrong. but I do agree that he definitely needed to be fired. Because the way I look at college football, honestly, like the way I kind of see it is college football coaches they go in and out like continuously. Like I feel like every other year there's a different head coach getting fired.
Yeah.
Besides obviously the named houses, like you
Mm.
got Alabama, right? Nick Saban's with fucking Bama for was with Bama for the longest time because he just kept winning. Every
Yeah.
other year it was Bama in the playoffs. You got Georgia, um, you had Clemson, you had Ohio State, Michigan. Um, you have all these head coaches that if you're not a named house, uh, and you are not consistently winning, then you would get fired. I would expect, right?
Yeah.
And I felt that kind of way about Jim Harbaugh uh, for a little while after he just couldn't he would get close but couldn't really execute.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about college football with head coaches. Is you couldn't win for like 3 or 4 years, but within the you got a 5 year span. How I look at it, right? You got out of all those 5 years, you have to win one. You have to win it all within one of those 5 years. Because if you don't, I highly believe that they will get fired. Um, because I feel like every other year, obviously you got a name house in the natty, and then you got a random different team in
Yeah.
that championship game that either wins it or they lose it, but they got there, and either that following year they win it or they just can't get back there and they they forget fired and shit like that. So I
Yeah.
think head
Definitely.
coaches definitely have a 5 year plan, not a plan, but span to win it. And obviously he's been with them since what 2017, some
Yeah,
shit
it's
like
been
that.
no. I think it was before that. I think it was like when we were still kind of in school. To be honest, like I think it's been almost 10 years.
Yeah,
So
so I'm saying he had a 10 year contract with Penn State, was never
basically,
able
yeah.
to actually fucking win it. Gotten
I
close,
do feel
but
like though, like I do feel like school matters, right? Like if he was at San Jose State and had if he did exactly what he did at Penn State at San Jose State, like I don't think he would. I don't think he'd be fired, right? Like
yeah,
so, I
I
do think the school matters too. Like I do think, and that's comes with the expectation. Like for a team like Penn State, like obviously everyone talks about Joe Paterno, and obviously that ended horribly with the Sandusky stuff, and then they ended up with Bill O'Brien, and he
yeah,
kind of led them through some really tough times, and then James Franklin got there after Bill O'Brien went back to the NFL, and I just I feel like I do think school matters. Like I said, if he's at San Jose State, no one says anything. He's still there. Like he's still working there today. But then again, like if he was at USC, I don't think he makes it fucking 10 years. I think he would have been done probably 2, 3 years ago. So you are correct. Like I do agree with you. Like I think for the most part, at most schools, you do get like 3 to 4. Or I think originally, like before the transfer portal, it was 5 years. I would agree. I think now with the transfer portal, I think it's down to 3. Like it's kind of around the NFL. Like NFL is kind of the same way. You get 3 years. Your first years, you need to decide what you're gonna do. Rebuild, okay, tear it all down. Your second year is number one. You should already have some foundation of what you're already doing. You're loading up with the draft and free agency, and then year three, you should be finishing up that, and then you should be competing, right? So I feel like college is starting to get to that point with the transfer portal. Um, but yeah, I mean, shit. We'll find out
that's
what happens though. I think there's going to be other coaches like everyone already talks about Florida's head coach. They've been talking about him for like basically the last 2 years. I think Michigan's head coach Sharon Moore. I think his seat's gonna get a little bit warm if it keeps going the way it's going. So I just don't
yeah,
think they gave I think almost 12 million to Bryce Underwood, the freshman quarterback. And if you're not competing in games with him, they're gonna see that as a problem, and they're gonna think you're the problem as a coach. So um,
yeah. I feel like I
his
mean,
seat's gonna be a little hot too.
yeah, I feel like you said, right? If you can't get some guy to develop and win some ball games, then yeah, you get fired. But
Yeah.
with these head coaches in college and the NFL, they don't stay on the street for very long. I promise you get another
Very
job by
rarely,
next
yeah.
month. So I mean,
Yeah.
and also like what you see with college, right? Is like a lot of these head coaches get fired and they go somewhere else and they fucking win it all. Um,
Mm.
why that works, I don't understand. But it
Yeah.
happens like all the fucking time. So either become an offensive OC for the NFL, a DC or whatever, or another head coach somewhere else. Because that one head coach will get fired, somebody else will get fired, and they'll swap and whatever in and out. And you win or
Yeah,
you lose, or you
definitely.
just yeah. But that's all I got about college football. Um, let's talk about some NFL. Let's get
Yeah,
into
I know
it.
you wanted to talk about a couple NFL head coaches. Obviously, one of them has already been fired, and I think I mentioned it a couple weeks ago. Brian Callahan. He
Yeah,
was
you
fired
did.
from the Tennessee Titans. I said he was going to be on the hot seat if they didn't turn it around. And when you lose to the Raiders, man, that's a
It's bad.
fireable offense. So, and obviously he
That's
did.
funny.
So, but that organization as a whole, I just think it's so fucking ass backwards. Like, they got rid of the GM with Vrabel there. Then they get rid of Vrabel. Well, and then they hired a new GM, kept Vrabel. Then they fired Vrabel. Then they hired this coach. Then they fired that GM, hired this GM they have now, and then now they just fired this head coach. So, you know, they got to figure it out because now they got a franchise quarterback. Well, we all think he's going to be a franchise quarterback. He made some great plays against the Raiders, and obviously he had some rookie turnovers there. But um,
Yeah.
I mean, you got a rookie QB. You got that contract. You got to make it happen within the next 4 years. So, the they're on the clock. They got to figure it out fast.
Yeah, I mean you did call it 100%. I think Tennessee is just one of those organizations that like they just cannot figure it the fuck out. I don't know what it
It's
is.
so odd, like, because I feel like growing up, like they were a playoff team. Like the Raiders and them played in the playoffs a bunch of times. They played the Ravens a bunch in the playoffs. So, early on with Jeff Fisher, they were a playoff team. Then they were just kind of solid with Jeff Fisher. They fired him. They got like two different coaches. They were just like middle of the road. And then Vrabel fucking got them to this playoff team. They were pretty badass. They were a really tough
They
team,
were.
like with Derrick Henry and them. And then it just kind of was starting to sputter out. And I feel like, they kind of jumped the gun a little too fast, I think, thinking like, hey, we can get a better coach or a better GM. And they're wrong. So,
Yeah, I don't know. Like what I see
but yeah,
I
you're
actually
right. Like that to me, like that's as of now, like that's considered to me a shit organization at this point in time. It's considered a shit organization. Like I don't
fucking
think it
morons.
was. I don't think it was like 5, 10 years ago. I think it was probably considered like a good one. Like you can do better, but you can't go. You can do worse as well. And now I feel like
This
they're starting to get to that. I don't want to call them Browns or Jets yet. Like they're not that bad yet, but they're
no.
starting to. They're in Raider territory, which isn't a good place to be.
Yeah, for me, honestly, when I think about Tennessee, I always think about it like there's never a superstar in that team. And it's crazy to say that, right? Because obviously they had
Yeah.
AJ Brown, Derrick Henry, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like it doesn't scream superstars on that when I think Tennessee. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm just more like, oh, they're just average players on the football team, and you don't
I mean,
have
they've never really had like they haven't had that superstar quarterback since Steve McNair, and like they tried with Vince Young, and unfortunately that failed. And then after that, like their quarterback was Ryan Tannehill. Like they've never had. I don't think they've ever had a superstar in one of those important positions, like in at tackle. Like they had Taylor Lewan, but he was never Trent Williams. Like they never
yeah,
had that edge rusher who's Miles Garrett. Like they never had one of those perennial superstar guys. Like you said, I think Derrick Henry's probably the closest, right? But even
yeah,
then, like at that point in time, people were saying running back was like a position that you shouldn't really invest in a whole lot. So
yeah. Look how that turned out. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think Tennessee's is kind of ass. But what interesting stat I seen um, was that every first round quarterback has had a different offensive coordinator slash head coach their first year in the NFL, which is kind of crazy if you look at all the first round picks. We think Bryce Young, fucking Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, and all these first round pick quarterbacks, they all had different head coaches, which is
yeah, it's
pretty
crazy.
interesting. Now Cam Ward,
Yeah,
it
I also
sucks.
saw. I was gonna say I also saw something too where like Cam Ward's one of I think 3 quarterbacks where as a first round pick in their first year, the head coach got fired. I think the first one was Trevor Lawrence, and then Bryce Young, and then Cam Ward. It's kind of crazy to look at that too.
Yeah. Oh, let's give a quick shout out to Trevor Lawrence. He's finally, hopefully, I mean, I don't want to jinx it. Low
You
key
just jinxed
finding
it.
his stride. Low key finding his stride. Finally. I feel like how I always, I don't want to say always, but the way I'm kind of looking at his career is I think about Peyton Manning when he started with the Colts. How awful he was. I'm not saying
All
I'm
right,
not saying
all
they're the
right.
same quarterback and they're gonna have the same accolades, nothing like that. But the time it took for him to finally develop in the league was a while. Trevor Lawrence, what, this is his 5th year in the league? Fifth,
I
sixth, something like that, right?
think it's probably something like that. We'll keep it fifth,
And
six.
and he's kind of been shit, but also like different head coach every fucking year. So uh
Fuck,
I don't know. Just a quick shout out to
fucking
Trevor Lawrence.
crazy,
Um
crazy.
but who else? Another head coach I kind of wanted to talk about was the Jets head coach.
Another guy. I think this is another one I mentioned, right? Like,
Yeah, we
that's
definitely
not
talked
good.
about it.
If you're on my list if you're on my list when it comes to the hot seat, that's not good. It's usually not a good thing. And Aaron Glenn's definitely. I mean, number one, he hasn't won a game yet. I think when I talked about it, I said like, yeah, you see, like, there's some little things like as a football coach that are like basics that they're not doing.
Yeah,
I mean, you go overseas, I get it. You're playing the Broncos, one of the best defenses in the NFL. I'm sympathetic. I understand. But your
yeah.
quarterback throws for negative 10 yards the whole game. We have a serious problem, Houston. Like, that's fucking not good at all. So, but yeah, I want to get your thoughts on that for sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand like him as a head coach and then like okay, is it just the play calling or is it the fact that the quarterback and the offense is just not clicking? Like they're just not understanding um and they're just not executing well. Or it's just him making terrible play calls um and stuff like that. And I'm really starting to think it's just him because for me personally, like I'm not the biggest Justin Fields fan by any means, right? Like I think he's
Yeah,
slightly a
he's good.
he's all right. I think when I think
You could
him
do
and his
worse.
yeah,
You could do worse,
honestly,
right? You could start
yeah,
Jake Browning. So, I mean, you could do way better than, like, I think he's pretty good.
the way I think about Justin Fields, and this is might be a hot take or whatever, I think about Justin Fields and I have Cam Newton right together in the way that they throw the football. I wouldn't say the way they rush football and the way Cam Newton was super electric when he had the ball or whatever. But like the way they throw
Hmm.
it, because I think Cam Newton didn't have an arm to like really sling the motherfucker. Me personally, like I just feel like it was very
Yeah.
iffy when he would, and that's the way I feel about Justin Fields. Like they weren't very accurate. Um,
Yeah.
but Cam Newton was actually a superstar. He fucking went to the Super Bowl and shit. Justin Fields, I feel like still hasn't reached his full ceiling as far as being the quarterback that he could be, right? And I feel like that's because he's had DC head coaches. He hasn't had an offensive mind head coach, and I feel like that's not really letting him be all he can be. And with Aaron Glenn, you can kind of see that. Like I feel like he's playing well, but he's digressing at the same time. Like I don't know what it is, but I think Aaron Glenn has if he wins 1 or 2 games this year, I think next year he's probably out if he can't win the first 5, 6 games. Um, but that's my opinion. I think
Yeah,
he has two
that's fair.
years. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I definitely feel like he's one of those coaches that, like his OC, for example, like he took him from the Lions, and that I don't know the guy's name offhand, but which maybe that's a problem too. But like obviously that guy probably I think he was a receivers coach, so he worked under Ben Johnson a little bit.
Mm,
But he's never called plays before. And that's kind of I feel like that's always been an issue. I feel like that's always an issue when you get these coaches um that never had big roles and more than one spot. They just don't have the network to build a good staff.
yeah,
Like unless without taking a shot in the dark. So like for example, like if I was gonna build this, let's say I got hired next year to be a head coach in the area,
Yeah.
let's say I'm in down south. I only know coaches from two spots. So that leaves me a total pool of like 15 guys. Whereas someone with experience, let's say he's coached for 10 years and he's been at six different schools, he's going to have like 70 to 80 different guys he can reach out to build his staff. So, like, there's that part of it, I think, is really showing like there's just inexperience on the coaching staff as a whole in the sense of the offensive side of the ball. And that's why there's no production over there. Like, yeah, is Brees Hall getting his? Yes, he has to because he's that good of a football player.
Yeah.
Um, their O line's better than it's been in the last couple years for sure. But obviously, there's still some huge issues on that side of the ball. Um, and like, I mean, look at Aaron Rodgers. He looked horrible. He looked fucking like 50 years old last year. And this year, he doesn't look 50. He looks his age. Like, you can tell he's definitely lost a step. But he's playing good football, I think. Like, he's not turning over the ball a whole lot, and they're winning games in
Yeah,
Pittsburgh. So obviously that's
he has
working.
a point
So,
to prove. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
It's
I
just
think
one of
that
those.
also, for Aaron specifically. But I guess like just to wrap up with the Jets, like I'm with you. I think he's got 2 years at best. Unless he wins out, I'll shut the fuck up. I'll apologize to him. I'll fly out, shake his hand, say my bad. But yeah, I think if
Yeah.
they win, let me ask you this: if they win two games, no, let's say if they win less than two games, so they win
One.
1 or 0.
Yeah.
Do you think he keeps his job?
This year, next year.
Wow. So if he goes 0-17, would he keep his job?
No, I think he's fired. And I say that just because
Sheesh.
they haven't invested in a franchise quarterback.
Uh like so you think that if Aaron Glenn goes 0-17, like that's the only way he's getting fired this year?
Yeah, and I say that just because when I look around head coaches, right, like I tend to look not just look at the head coach, I like tend to look at what he's done as a head coach
Yeah.
and what the organization has allowed him to do, right? Um,
Yeah.
right now, Aaron Glenn felt like his team was from what Robert Saleh did with the Jets, like the team was, pretty intact. There wasn't major changes to do besides like, pick up a quarterback in free agency, Justin Fields, pick up wide receivers here and there. It was just like a free agent pickup, right, with Aaron Glenn. As to Robert Saleh, right? He went into an organization, they cleaned house. They're like, hey, I need a quarterback in the draft. I need these certain people, Brees Hall, whatever. And that's why I said like he kind of built it, right? Aaron Glenn, he just adopted that and just added a few more pieces where he's like, hey, I could still kind of win with these guys, and let me just go get some quarterbacks. So the reason I believe that Aaron Glenn would be fired if he goes 0-17 is because the organization hasn't fully committed or allowed him to go in the first round and pick a franchise quarterback where they're like, hey, we're kind of stuck with this guy because we picked him up in the first round. Um, like Justin Fields, they can just let him go or have him as QB2 for the next guy that the next head coach will allow him to get. So that's why I feel like if he loses out, you know, the Jets haven't really invested too much where they're like can be like, damn, we really bit ourselves in the ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree. Well, I don't totally agree. I think like if they look like shit and let's say they win 3 games and they just look terrible, like they're lucky to win those three, I could totally see them firing him. Like I don't think he's I don't know how to say this. Like I think you could find somebody better than him who like they're in a tough spot because like the guy I would have probably called is Robert Sala, and like obviously he's not going back there. So, um,
Mm-hmm.
but I think somebody like that's done some good with literally nothing. I think those are going to be the guys that get a call. Like I think the Raiders DC, um, With the Jets, I don't. They're not. No way they're gonna go two defensive coaches in a row. So that's probably out of the question. So they're
Yeah,
gonna probably look to go for an offensive guy because you can only go the same route so many times, right? So, um, yeah, fuck, they're just in a tough spot. Like, can you really go through and hire another coach again? You probably are right. Like, they're probably gonna tough it out. Um, and then someone I was gonna mention, obviously they beat the Titans. I'm not too happy about that game. They should have won by more, but someone that I think
yeah,
was on, I think some people would have had on the hot seat going into last week's games, was Pete Carroll. I think Pete Carroll. Me personally, I don't think he's not on the hot seat for me. Chip Kelly is.
damn, it's
But
crazy.
why?
Um, Chip Kelly won an Natty. He has some hype behind him.
What has he done in the NFL?
That's true. I mean,
So like
it's the reason why he went to college ball, right? Because I mean, he was the Eagles
yeah,
head coach, Niners head coach.
that's that's my
Shitty.
problem with that's my problem with him is like he. It doesn't look like he's evolved at all to me. Like he's still trying to implement college stuff
Yeah.
um, into the NFL game, which you can. Like there's a way to do it. Um, he just hasn't figured out how to do that yet. So, um, kind of crazy. But like, is there any other head coaches you think in the league are on the hot seat at all?
Yes. And I
All
did
right,
bring
let's
it
do
up
it.
when we first talked about it, but I think this head coach, I think he's really created something where, and I kind of mentioned it too, right? Like you have QB controversy. Um, and this head coach is Kevin Stefanski. Um, I just think that he didn't know what he was doing at quarterback, and you got a fucking um, a cycle of different quarterbacks. Hey, let me try this one out. Let me try that one out. And you manage to fuck that up, it will get you fired. And I feel like that's what he's doing, right? You had Joe Flacco. Yeah, I mean, you have Joe Flacco, you had Deshaun Watson, you had fucking Kenny Pickett, you have Shador Sanders, and you had Dylan Gabriel. You got rid of Joe Flacco, sent him to Cincinnati, because they needed a quarterback, whatever. You start Dylan Gabriel, or you got rid of Kevin. You got rid of all these guys, right? The only thing you have now is Shador Sanders and Dylan Gabriel. And Dylan Gabriel had his moments here and there, but he's also had a lot of rookie mistakes. But watching him, like it's like, okay, dude, what are you doing out there? Like, is it like again? It goes down to the play calling. It goes down to, is it the head coach, or it's just him not linking, like him not being on the same sync with the fucking offense, right? And it's the second game. I'm not trying to overreact, as far as like the players, but I am looking at the head coach now. It's like, all right, bro, what the fuck are you doing? You
Yeah.
have two quarterbacks that you drafted, um, and drafted one with a lot of baggage, and then Shador Sanders, and you have one in Dylan Gabriel that's just trying to play ball. So if he
Hmm.
doesn't work out, it's like you gotta trade one of these dudes, and it's like, why use a pick on two quarterbacks? Um, and I feel like if they continue to lose or whatever, especially when you have such a great, I think it's the best defense in the league. I think it's better than the Broncos. I think their defense is number one overall. I just think you need to pair it with an offense that can win you games to really bring motivation to these guys. That's how I see it, from playing ball and stuff. You gotta have that winning mentality to really uplift the whole team. Because when you're just losing, you're just playing to play. Other players are playing to get picked up from somewhere else or go somewhere else or whatever, get paid. Like Miles Garrett, right? He had that whole thing
Hmm.
last year where I want to get the fuck out of here because we can't win. Threw him some money. He's like, all right,
He
shut the
brought that
fuck
up
up.
the other day. By the way, he brought this up again, talking about like he wants to win, and it's like, dude, like for him specifically, it's like you said that this off season, and then they paid you money and you shut up. So like you
Yeah.
can't keep saying that because no one's gonna believe
So
you.
exactly. So I feel like, and it's like hard to be like, hey, because it's the Browns, right? But it's like for me, it's like you got defense right. Why
Yeah.
can't you get the offense right? You have ball players on there. Um, but you
True.
still can't win. And Kevin Stefanski's been what, the head coach for like a while now. He's won some games. He had Baker, right? When they had Baker Mayfield, I think that was the best time that Cleveland's been a winning franchise. I mean, they went to the playoffs with Baker, so um,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's on the hot seat for real. I think this is probably be his last year if he fucks this Dylan Gabriel and Shador Sanders stuff up, which I think they will. Because I just think he looks exhausted, doesn't really know what he's doing anymore, and is just trying to get by. And I think he'll get fired and probably go to the Jets or some other fucking whack ass organization.
Yeah, that's a good one. Shoot, trying to think anybody else. I'd probably, man, if they didn't have the injuries, I'd probably say Jonathan Gannon with the Cardinals might be coming on the hot list or the hot seat. But it's all pretty much injury related, so that's why they really haven't been winning.
Yeah,
Um, and they played who they just play the Colts. They played the Colts kind of tough, to be honest.
yeah.
So, um,
I think I think it's the QB. Like those are one of those things where I would just look at QB, to be honest with you.
well, he didn't even play. It was Jacoby Brissett, so it's like,
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? I don't know. I feel like Kyler Murray's out at the Cardinals.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean that could be something to look at. Trying to think anybody else that's really like close to the hot seat.
Mike McDaniels.
I mean that one we've known this one. That I'm actually surprised that wasn't the first one to go. Um,
Yeah.
like oh fuck, fucking a Mike McDaniel, fucking horrible. Um,
Yeah.
that's really it, right? Like I mean, I guess if the slide continues, yeah, it's not looking good for
Yeah.
Sean McDermott.
He's Sean McDermott. I feel like the only reason he still has a job is because of Josh Allen.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's literally the only reason why he's still head coach. Because if he had any other
Yeah,
quarterback, he's not winning those ball games. It's literally Josh Allen carrying this organization on his back. And I feel the same way about Cincinnati. You got Joe Burrow that's carrying that whole organization. If it wasn't him, the head coach would be fired.
that's
That's just
fair.
my
I mean,
opinion.
let me ask you this: if Joe Flacco, obviously the Bengals traded for Flacco,
Yeah.
if Joe Flacco gets them to like 7-10, is Zach Taylor still the head coach?
Mm,
Because you would say, I
yeah.
would say, like I would argue Joe Burrow's like a 4 game swing, right? Like he's the difference in 4 different games.
Yeah.
What would h- how many wins would they have to have for you to be like, yeah, you got to fire him?
I mean, he should have been fired already. That's just my opinion. But
Well, yeah,
I th
but
I think he would lose
because I
under
just I just
seven.
said 7, I just said 7. You're like, no,
Yeah.
he's still there. So
Yeah, it's just hard, right? Because
yeah,
you look around and you're like, all right, what other coach can replace him?
yeah, it's a tough one.
And then I feel like, I mean, unless you get fucking Mike McDaniels to go over there and fucking carry the team. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
So,
tough. Like I think coordinator wise, I would say probably just and obviously I don't have everyone like memorized, but just off the top of my head, I'd probably say Bucks. Whoever the Bucks OC, they're probably going to be in line for a job here, just because I mean it's really nothing they've done. It's all been Baker Mayfield. It's like Baker's
yeah,
been carrying that team, but um, my gosh, I'm sorry guys. Um, I think honestly, I think Robert's solid, dude. Like we'll see obviously how this defense looks without Fred Warner, and we'll talk about Rigo's Niners here in a second. But I mean, hey, if the Niners turn in a top 10 defense, I think Robert Sala's got to get another look, man. Like, I think every organization can say, he was with the Jets. That's why it didn't work. Right.
yeah,
Um, trying to think anybody else. Like, trying to think. Obviously the Chargers coordinators. I think Greg Roman, he's probably been overdue. Like, he should have already gotten a shot as a head coach when he was with the Niners. He probably should have got a shot. I think if he gets Herbert back on the right track and that offense starts looking really good again, Obviously, they've had their own injuries at the running back position, so that's kind of why their offense is taking a dip. But then, like, the Chargers DC, Jesse Minter, he's obviously, same thing. He's had injuries he's had to deal with, but that defense still looks really good. He's probably going to be up for a job pretty soon. Trying to think anybody else. Maybe someone on the Jag staff, if they,
Nah,
or actually someone on the Colts staff too. Maybe one of those
I
coordinators on
think
the
I
Colts.
think they're gonna look at like what organization's been winning and try to poach an OC. That's just how I look at it. I mean, they do it every
Yeah,
year.
yeah. That's why I was thinking
Um,
like Colts, but that's the thing too. And like, we'll just kind of shift gears here. I don't know about you, um, but I feel like this is the first time since I've really been into football that I feel like we don't really know who's the top dog in the league. Like,
yeah,
I feel like in the years past, like, I'll try to give a decent example. Like in years past, like the Chiefs would they'd be 6-0 or 5-1, and even when they lost, it was they lost in a bullshit last minute field goal. But in all the wins, they look dominant, right? And like I feel like there's been some moments where it's like, man, the Colts look fucking really good, and then they go play the Rams and they lose, and then they really should have lost the game against the Broncos, and like you have some of those games, right? And then like
yeah,
a team like the Patriots, like this week, everyone's calling the Patriots a contender, or a playoff team,
yeah,
but they didn't beat the Raiders week 1. Like it's stuff like that throughout the league. Like I just feel like this is the first time for me, at least. Like I don't know who's really a legit playoff team, like, and they're gonna actually contend for the Super Bowl, and who's not. Um, how do you feel
yeah.
about that?
No, I completely agree. I mean, um, for me, I think the Chiefs. I think a lot of these or not analyzers, these NFL critics or whatever you want to call them, um, I think they're all biased to the Chiefs because I mean the Chiefs just won a game and they're like, oh yeah, they're the best team in the NFL and they do all this and that and it's like, bro, like what are we talking about here? Um, so yeah, I agree. I mean, you got the Eagles just won the Super Bowl, looking awful on offense. You got the Bucks who are a good team. Baker's carrying them, but I still
Also, the
don't feel
Falcons.
like,
No, who'd they lose
yeah,
to?
no,
It wasn't the
I
Falcons.
don't, I'm not, I
Regardless,
don't,
it wasn't a top team. I know that it was not like some fucking. It wasn't like the Rams, or it wasn't one of those, like, it was some weird loss. Like every team in the league has a weird loss with them.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, I agree. Like I still don't have that like, hey, this is a definitive team that is definitely gonna win it, and I'll see them in the playoffs. I mean, the Bills are a prime example. Eagles are, the
Yeah, look at the
Chiefs are,
Bills. Like the Bills put up 50, gave up 50 or gave up 49 to the Ravens, and then but they beat them. And then like last night's game, Monday night's game, they put up 14 against the Falcons, who, to me, I brought up early in the year. I was big on the Falcons. I thought they were going to be a team to look at, and it's kind of crazy. It's just, I guess, it's what the league is looking. I guess I don't know if this is what the league wants, like, for it to be kind of a who's who every year,
close.
but yeah, it's just, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's shift here. Let's get straight to our picks um
Yeah, for
in
sure.
this week's games, this weekend's games, and then we can just give our last comments of um, our last hot takes of the day and of the week. So, let's
Well,
get straight into it.
we
We're
gotta
gonna
talk
fly
about.
through
We'll
these.
have to talk about your
Um,
guys for sure. So
yeah, 100%. But
yeah, but yeah,
let's
let's
get
get
straight
these
into
picks.
this.
Let's go
Steelers and Bengals.
tomorrow night.
Steelers. Yeah, tomorrow
Yeah,
night.
I'm with you, Steelers. And then also, just for anybody wondering, Matty Ice couldn't be on. He's actually currently moving, which is shout out to him. He talked about that on the last episode or 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
But he'll have his picks, so I'll be posting those tonight.
Yeah.
Or
So stay tuned. Stay
I
tuned,
guess
everybody, for those things.
it'll be a day after, or the day before we post this. So this will be probably
It'll be
posted
on there.
tomorrow.
It'll be on there.
But
Stay tuned to
yeah,
TikTok,
check out IG, TikTok.
Instagram.
It'll be on there. Trying to get
All right.
Rigo. Hey,
So
we're trying to get Rigo to 60, man. Let's go.
yeah, we'll get there.
Yes, sir.
Eagles and Vikings.
Oof. Fuck.
Um,
Is this like any special like fucking Dubai game or some bullshit, or is it
nah, not that I see
in the
here.
States? Okay, good.
Um, I got
Oh,
Eagles.
yeah.
Okay, I'm playing safe.
Fuck. Dude,
Yeah,
I hate that. I hate their offense, man. Like it's
I do
bad,
too.
but
But
yeah, I'm gonna roll with the Eagles too because I just fuck Carson Wentz. I can't trust him yet.
this one, I think it's a 50-50 for me. It's just how I'm feeling that day. But Panthers and Jets. I'm gonna let you pick. Go
Panthers.
first.
Let's go Panthers.
I knew you were gonna say that shit. It's a
Why is
toss-up.
this gonna be? Why is this gonna be the game Aaron Glenn gets his first win though?
Yeah, I'm picking the Jets. I'm going Eric
That's
Glenn after so much shit I was talking about.
Is it
I just
home? Are
think
they
if
home?
let me see. Uh Carolina at New York. Yep. I'm going Aaron Glenn.
That's not good. Like if they lose this game and it's like a blowout, I don't know if he makes it to fucking next week. That could be
Yeah, bro.
tough. This is kind of, I'll be honest with you, this is kind of a fucking winner go home kind of game. Like this is almost his season, I think. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna stick with my pick. I'm gonna still rock with Bryce Young and Tet McMillan, but man, is the
Yeah.
pressure on for fucking Aaron Glenn, man. Holy shit, that's
Yeah.
tough. At least if it was a way
Um,
he loses, it's like whatever. But fuck, man, tough
yeah,
spot.
get fucked. All right,
Yeah,
next one.
definitely.
Saints and Bears. I got the Bears. Got the Bears.
I can't do it. I'll go Saints. Can't do it.
All right.
Can't do
Colts
it.
and Chargers. Colts and Chargers, buddy. Come on. Let's get it.
Chargers.
We're
Harbaugh,
starting to get
baby.
interesting now.
Yeah, definitely. I got Chargers
Yeah,
though.
yeah. Chargers. Chargers, 100%.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
waiting. I'm waiting on the Colts, man. Like you know,
I think this will be the game to kind of like define which way they're gonna go, right?
like if they
Like the
lose
Chargers are a good
close,
football team.
yeah. I think if the Colts lose close, then I'd be like, yeah, they're a playoff team, but they're just not quite there yet.
Okay.
Real quick
Next
about
one,
the
Packers and
Colts.
Cardinals.
Real
All
quick
right, go
about the
ahead.
Colts. I promise. Isn't that crazy? They had two pregame injuries. Wasn't that nuts? Did you
Yeah,
see that?
yeah.
Just you think that's
Tra
normal? Like
Travarius Ward. Travarius Ward ran into the other
just
player, got a
straight
concussion
fucking
before the game started.
KO'd. I
Um,
think the
what are they
Richardson one was
doing? What are they
crazier.
doing?
That one was crazy. Bro, like
Hey,
orbital
Colts are gonna
socket,
Colts.
orbital fracture, bro. Crazy.
Can't make that shit up. All right, Packers and Cardinals. Packers.
Yeah, Packers.
Falcons and Niners. I got Falcons. Michael
Ooh,
Penix is just gonna go off, tee off.
oh, that's
BJ
home though,
Robinson
huh?
gonna.
That's
Yep.
home. I'm gonna rock with your boys, man. I'm a solid guy. I'm gonna believe in the Niners. Think they're gonna figure out.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm gonna think they're gonna figure it out.
Okay. Texans and Seattle. I got Seattle.
I'm gonna go Seattle as well. Sam Darnold.
All right. All right. All right. Rams and Jags. I got Rams.
Man, if Puka don't play,
You got Devontae
fuck.
Adams, obviously the first ballot Hall of Famer. Come on now.
I'm gonna roll with the Jags.
Actually, yeah. Actually, I'm gonna change that pick because I just remember how nasty that Jags defense is, and yeah, Puka doesn't play.
So
I
can
think
I?
the Jags kind of.
I'm gonna pull a Rigo. If Puka is not playing, I'm going Jags. If Puka is playing, I'm going Rams.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're on the same boat about that because I think
Yeah,
Puka's their whole offense. I think
yeah,
Sean McVay's been so reliant on Puka that like he doesn't know what to do with the superstars that he has. One of my
yeah.
problems I had with him in the beginning on the other podcast. But yeah, So we'll stick with that. Pats and Titans. I think this is
Pats.
easy. I think it's Pats. Yeah, it's super
Vrabel's
easy.
revenge game. Yeah,
Uh,
it's an easy one.
Dolphins and Browns. Just going Browns, baby.
Let's go, Browns. Yes, sir.
Raiders and Chiefs.
How about those Chiefs, baby?
Ooh.
Rasheed
I got
Rice's
Raiders.
game's
I got the
back.
fucking.
Rasheed Rice is back.
Hey, I
The
got
Raiders are cooked.
the Las Vegas motherfucking Raiders. I think
Fucking
Max Crosby
horrendous.
goes for 2 or 3 sacks this game. So I'm going Raiders, baby. Come on now. Um, Giants and Broncos. Giants, baby. Jackson Dart. And that's only because I have him in
Ooh.
fantasy. I need him to go off.
Is that the night game?
No, it's the 2 o'clock game. Well, 2 o'clock
Oh
for me,
shit.
1 o'clock for
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
guys.
I got you. Yeah, I'm gonna roll with you. Giants.
All right. Commanders and Cowboys.
Commanders. I'm not mad
Mm,
if you pick the
I
Cowboys
really,
though. Dak's having a pretty good year too. Like
dude, he's having a fucking stellar year, and it's
he's
sad to
having a
see like
year,
he
man.
can't. Um, I'm
I'm not
going
mad if you pick
Cowboys
them.
because that's a
Yeah,
that's a home game. That's a home game.
yeah.
I'm going. I'm
Uh,
I'm going.
I think it's gonna be a
Cowboys.
shootout, so
All
that
right.
should be a fun one.
Yeah. Pull this back up. Sorry. Uh, last one. Um, is the Bucks and Lions. I think the Lions win this. I think they shove it up Baker's ass.
Oh man, fuck.
And
Yeah, I just
it's
think
the Sunday night game. And Tampa is playing at Detroit.
yeah, I'm gonna go Lions too. I just think the injuries are gonna be a little too much for Baker to overcome against this team in specific.
And then they'll have a new standing and be like, oh my gosh, Lions are the best team in the NFL and suck
Yeah.
everybody's dick. So
Yep.
um yeah, those are our picks, guys. For week 7.
Yeah.
Hopefully
It's
I get above
a lot of
60%
interesting.
this time, huh?
There's a lot of interesting matchups in there for sure, and then there's also some really like outside of between the sidelines. There's a lot of interesting matchups. Like you mentioned, the Dolphins, Browns. Both coaches to us are pretty much on the hot seat. Panthers, Jets, right? You said like we said, Aaron Glenn. I mean, wow,
So a lot of
two
these,
really electric matchups. Let me check real quick. Make sure. Oh,
yeah,
yep. He sent.
yeah,
You want to read them off?
what, uh, actually, I just wanted to hit something real quick that we haven't done on this podcast yet, just so people can have a better understanding of like where teams are at. So I want to read off the leaders of every team of the AFC East, AFC North, just the top teams. Now I'm not going to go in depth, just read them
Yeah, yeah,
off.
yeah.
Um, so we're gonna start off with the AFC. AFC East, you got the Patriots leading 4-2. AFC North, you got the Steelers 4-1. AFC South, you got the Colts that are 5-1. And you got the AFC West, the Chargers leading 4-2, with the Broncos trailing. Okay. And then we're gonna go to the NFC East. You got the Eagles leading 4-2. AFC North, the Packers 3-1. And you have the AFC South, Tampa 5-1. And you got my motherfucking Niners, NFC West 4-2 with the Seattle trailing 4-2 and the Rams trailing 4-2.
Crazy.
But yeah, go ahead and something we haven't done, just thought people should know. But Hearn, go ahead and read off Matty Ice's picks, and hopefully he misses.
Yeah.
You've
Let
been
me
talking a
see
lot of
how I'm
shit
gonna do
lately.
this. Hold up.
Or do you want me
Uh,
to read it off? It'd be easier.
yeah, yeah. I mean, if you can, because it's in the group, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't
I
know
mean,
what
yeah,
the fuck he's doing.
yeah. If you, because I'd have to go off screen. If I do it.
Okay. All right, so Maddie has Pittsburgh winning against Cincinnati.
Yep.
Maddie has the Rams against the Jags. He has Chicago against Saints. He has Miami versus Cleveland. He has the Chiefs versus the Raiders. He has Philly against Seattle. I mean, not Seattle, Minnesota, sorry. He has the Carolina against the Jets. He has New England against Tennessee. He has Denver versus the Giants. The Colts versus the Chargers. the Packers versus the Cardinals. Um, didn't pick his last ones. Let me see if he changed it. Oh, he did. He got the Cowboys in Washington, and he has Atlanta against San Francisco. And Detroit versus Tampa, and Houston versus Seattle. Yeah,
I had no idea you guys had the Sunday night game.
shit.
Yeah,
Me either.
I like my pick now for sure.
Damn, it's
Yeah,
interesting. I didn't know that either.
Purdy, Purdy's good in prime time. So yeah, I like that.
I don't even know if he's playing. I think it's Mac again.
If it's Mac, that's even better. He's good in prime time too. So I like where
Yeah.
I'm at.
Um, but yeah, I mean, we're coming to an end here, guys.
Whoa, whoa,
Just
whoa,
some
whoa,
last.
whoa,
No,
whoa,
no, no, I'm
whoa.
not signing off yet. We're gonna get
I was gonna say,
some
hold on
quick
a second.
little.
You can't duck your team now. Can't
No,
have that.
no. Just last minute thoughts um about my Niners, right? I feel like this team is definitely fucking cursed. Needs to get the fuck out of Santa Clara and go back to Candlestick because I really don't understand how you lead the league almost every fucking year of injuries. Like they just dude, we got guys injured from like fucking 3 years ago that's still on this fucking roster. Can't get healthy, they come back, get hurt. And I really, really don't fucking understand these injuries. A lot of them, I get it, they're freak accidents, but like the hamstrings, um, ACLs, and all this sort of shit, it's like, dude, what the fuck is going on, right? Um, Especially, it was such gut wrenching, heartbreaking. I like, I was lost for words. When I was in Missouri and I was watching the game and I saw fucking Fred Warner go down. I looked to my wife and I was like, dude, that's our fucking season. Just because Fred Warner is not just a team captain, he's like a leader on the Niners, like one of those guys that like everybody, like I said, rallies behind. Is like Fred Warner's like brings the juice among
He's
like
like
maybe two or three.
if for people that like don't follow football that follow basketball, he's like Draymond Green for the Warriors. Like he brings it like he's like their soul almost. Like he's their heart and soul basically. Is that
Yeah,
fair?
so yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, it doesn't help already that you lost Nick Bosa. That front line is just getting hurt every fucking game. It's like literally every game the Niners play, they lose two to three guys every
Yeah.
fucking game. I don't understand it.
I will
Um,
say, like, and obviously you have a strong opinion about like your team as a whole. Like, this is probably one of the injuries for this team in specific where like it genuinely feels like a curse because it wasn't like it's almost like the Greenlaw injury in the Super Bowl. Like, it wasn't anything that anybody on that staff could have did to prepare him to get rolled up on. You know, like there's nothing he could have done to prepare for that injury specifically. Like the Kittle one with the hamstring, like yeah, maybe like the way you guys train or however that stuff works, like maybe you can fix that. Even like Purdy's turf toe and even the stuff Mac Jones is dealing with. But like to get rolled up on, there's nothing you can do to train for that. And like yeah,
yeah.
it must as a Niner fan, it must fully feel like you're just cursed. Like you're just never gonna be happy.
Yeah, that's literally how it feels every game. Every game, like I watch with them, I'm just like, okay, who's going down? It's not even like
Yeah,
I don't even think about if we're gonna win or not anymore. It's just like, who are we losing now? And losing
yeah,
Fred was like my biggest fear. Because like now it's just like, okay, I could probably guess who's gonna get hurt. I got Trent Williams probably gonna get hurt. I got Kendrick Bourne probably gonna get hurt.
yeah.
Christian McCaffrey's probably gonna get hurt. A lot of these guys I just think about they're just gonna get hurt every fucking game. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about the Niners. I mean, if they win and they pull it off, nobody gets hurt, then damn, we've been doing our prayers. But other than that, I think it's GG's for them.
Yeah, the CMC making it this far without any issues is really impressive. So shout out to him. Obviously, he's had to have done something different. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, tough stretch for the Niners, and obviously, like you guys just heard, I'm picking them to win Sunday night. Um, I just think like it's home. It's like I said, it's prime time. I could totally see Fred Warner being there. Like he's that kind of guy. Like I know he just got hurt last week, and I mean, for the most part, everyone saw how gruesome it was. It was a nasty injury. But he's
yeah,
definitely that kind of guy where like I could see him being there. Whether it's like he's up in the suite, but he was in the locker room before the game, or he's out there with the boys on the sideline, like I could definitely see him being there
100%.
because he's that kind of
I don't.
guy.
Yeah, he's
And obviously, like Kittle
one of
will
those
be there,
few
so
guys.
I feel like
Yeah.
they still got some juice, and we'll see. Um, and obviously, like I kind of mentioned the Raiders earlier, talking about like Chip Kelly being on the hot seat and stuff like that. I'm actually kind of really disappointed. Like I know we won, I should be a little bit happier about it, but like I was telling some coaches from this weekend, like you're playing the Titans, like they're one of the worst teams in the NFL, and you only put 20 on them. Like, don't get me wrong, the defense showed out. They only gave up 10 points, which is great. They had a ton of turnovers, which is awesome. But your first drive, you drove down, like, did whatever you wanted that whole drive, and then you only get 3 points out of it. It's a shit feeling against that kind of team. And it was early in the game. Like, if it's late in the game, like, obviously they probably figured you out a little bit. That makes sense. But for you to come in with a script that you worked on all week and you only get 3 points, it's really discouraging. Um, Thankfully, we haven't had any injuries, which is nice. But I always text Rigo, like I
I
always
know how
fuck
that
with him.
feels.
I always fuck with him. Hey, fucking, you guys gonna have Max Crosby next week. Um,
Hopefully.
and honestly, I think if to be honest with you guys, if the Niners didn't have half the injuries they did, I think it would have already happened. To be honest, but I think now, like Rigo said, they lost Fred Warner. Unless they're getting Kittle back sometime soon, and Purdy's like, hey, I'm good to go. Um, that's probably not happening. And I don't think any
Yeah.
other team's gonna really, unless the Raiders surprise anybody and ship him out to someone in the AFC. Um, I don't see him being shipped out, but um, just enjoying Max Crosby
Yeah.
while I got him.
Yeah. But I think I think that's about it, folks. I mean, I think the podcast today is was a lot of catching up, so it was definitely a longer one than usual. So we apologize for that. We tend to try to get straight into it, hit on everything that we need to, but this one obviously we missed last week, so there's definitely a lot more things to talk about this week. So we appreciate everybody and that's
Oh,
listening to us, that
can we
supports
do
us.
can we do one more thing, man? One more
All right, go
thing.
ahead, Herno. Take it.
Um, I'd like to know who are your top four MVP candidates today.
Fuck. I mean, let's go with the obvious here, right? We got Baker Mayfield,
Yep.
uh, Daniel Jones.
Eh,
Um,
Yeah.
I got A-Rod
Yeah.
up there. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got A-Rod.
I'm not mad at that.
Um, so A-Rod, Daniel Jones, Baker Mayfield. Daniel Jones might be a stretch, but I mean, look what he's done so far. So, um,
I
who
think
else would I say?
I
Dak
would probably.
Prescott's definitely.
Dak's played like
I got Dak
one.
Prescott.
He just doesn't have the team. Like he doesn't have the team record for it. Um,
Yeah,
if you'd
and
have asked me like 2 weeks ago, I probably would have said Herbert. But
yeah, I mean, he tend to shit the bed. So, another team. I mean, my last one, I think I got the fuck's his name? Sam Darnold. I got Sam Darnold.
yeah,
Those are my top five.
that's another good
Daniel
one too.
Jones, obviously for me, he's like a stretch. Like, hey, there's maybe another guy you could really think hard of. I mean, you got the Pats, Drake May. I can switch
I
him in and
think
out for.
I think with your list, like I think the only one I'd swap out is probably A-Rod, and I put Stafford. But other than that, I think I'd have the same
Ooh.
list as you.
I want to put Stafford up there just like obviously because like he's doing great things, but I
Yeah,
mean if you really look at what he's doing, he's throwing to one guy.
yeah.
For
No, I,
me,
I think I
it's
think after this week,
that's
if
where
they
he's getting his
win,
number. Yeah,
yeah, I think if they win, like especially if he doesn't play, if Nakua doesn't play, then I think he would have probably even bigger argument, right? Like of what he's doing. But yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. Like he's definitely like I think out of the five guys, he probably has the best receiver in the league,
yeah,
right?
um,
Yeah. So because
yeah,
like Dak hasn't had CD for the most part. CD only played like 1 or 2 weeks.
and
Baker's
he's
only
balling
had
out.
Agbuka for a couple weeks, and or Agbuka
Yeah,
and Mike Evans, right? Like so. I mean, for the most part, most of those guys, Daniel Jones does not have, besides Jonathan Taylor, he doesn't have like superstar receiver to throw to. So yeah, you're right. I'll give you that.
Who's your top five?
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think I just have your list. So I think number one's obviously Baker. I think my two would be Dak. Three would be Stafford.
Okay.
Four would be Daniel Jones, and then I think I'd go fuck, because you had Sam Darnold too, right?
Yeah, I had Sam Darnold up there.
I just hate putting all offensive guys too, like all QBs. I wish I just don't know off the top of my head. Oh, I got one. I'm gonna go with the running
Who?
back. I'm gonna go Bijan.
Mm. Bijan's been playing pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good one. I didn't think
yeah,
about
I'm gonna
like
go Bijan.
other than quick
I didn't either.
QBs.
Like I didn't think about it until like I started saying it, and then like I started thinking about like people always call the MVP award a QB award, and then I was like, fuck,
Yeah,
it's not like a QB. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, but I mean realistically, like those are the guys that usually win it, right? So, and then
yeah.
speaking of MVPs, I know I said one last thing, and then you see me trying to drag it on because I got to cut like 15 minutes because we had technical difficulties. Anyways, uh, your guy, two-time
Who?
MVP
Two time.
of the league, two-time. Actually, I think he's three-time. Two-time, three-time. He's almost 500 in the playoffs. Lamar Action Jackson. I
Yeah, man.
mean, fucking
What is
tough.
there to say about him?
You know, like my guy Joel
What is there
says,
to
he's
say?
he's top three and he ain't 2-3. It's showing every week because boy, do they suck. They have no defense. Cooper Rush looks horrible. Um, Derrick Henry's looking like his age now. I think he's finally come back down to earth.
Yeah.
They need him. They need him bad, man.
Well,
I feel for
that's
them.
the thing that's the thing I'm trying to say, right? About the Lamar thing is like you look around the team, um, and you try to understand. Hold on, I got a message here. Oh, sorry. Um, it's like he has ball players, right?
Yeah,
And you look around him. And it's like, okay, why can't these other quarterbacks do what Lamar Jackson, right? Obviously, Lamar Jackson's super talented as far as athleticism and stuff like that. But when it comes to QB play, I still don't feel like he's that sort of dude. And my argument doesn't really win here because it's like, okay, you have a different quarterback and they're not winning games. They're like 1-5 here. And you have a fucking offense that can win ball games and you got a defense that could still win too. So for me, it's just like Lamar Jackson running around
I got
and
a hot
scoring
take.
touchdowns.
I got a hot take.
What's up?
It's gonna sound fucking insane. Um, because there's been rumors that they might be benching this guy, which I hope they don't. But if let's say something happens to Cooper Rush, is there a chance they trade for Justin Fields?
I don't know. That's definitely a hot take. I have to like sit on it. I don't think they do. Because then what
Because
does
I
that
feel
mean for
like,
Eric Glenn
because
and the
obviously,
Jets?
like if they win, if Cooper Rush wins, then yeah, you're not trading. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna trade for QB because he's capable of winning the game. But I feel like you wouldn't have to like because obviously the offense is different with Cooper Rush in. Like he can't run like Lamar, right? So like it's probably like 2/3 of what you're usually doing, you know. And I feel like
Yeah.
the Jets aren't going anywhere. They're obviously, and I think it would kind of help out Aaron Glenn's case, like to keep his job. Well, I would think it would, but um, because there's been
I
like I
don't
the reason why I said is because there is rumors out there that they're thinking about benching Justin Fields for Tyrod Taylor, which to me would be a punt on the season no matter. Like I feel like their season's. I think we can all agree the Jets season's done no matter what. So why not trade Justin
Mhm.
Fields and get something out of him? Like you saw the Bengals do it. They traded for Joe Flacco. Like I mean, what do the Ravens have to lose?
Yeah, that's
Because then,
true. I just
like,
don't see
because
it.
I don't know. It's just a hot take, but I mean how? Because to me, I don't know how long Lamar's going to be out. Is the other thing too. Like If Lamar's back in a couple weeks, like in 2 weeks, then I'd be like, yeah, it's stupid. Like that's a dumbass take. But if he's gonna be out till almost December, I mean, what do you have to lose?
That's true. I don't know. I just don't see it, but I mean, if it happens, I mean, fuck, dude, you're the fucking guru over here.
You heard it here first, man. You know that's what we do here at the 44 Pod. We try to think outside the box, man. Like you guys, you want in the box, you go ESPN or Fox Sports. You want out the box, you come here to the 44 Pod. We'll throw some hot takes here and there. You know, we talk about coaches on the hot seat. What do you know? I called one of them. The guy got
Yep.
fired. There's nothing I can do about that. You know. So, um, but yeah, let's
Yeah.
wrap this thing up, Rigo. Appreciate you
All
letting
right,
me
man.
drag it out a little bit.
Hey, it's all good, man. He has shit to say, and that's what we do here. But yeah,
Yes, sir.
we appreciate everybody that takes the time out of their day, their busy schedule and stuff like that, and to take a listen to us and our crazy shit that we have on the 44 Pod. I appreciate you. Hearn appreciates you. Everybody, we love you, and we, we thankful for all the support and hate that you give us. Whether it's good or bad, it is what it is.
I'm
Can't
on
please
TikTok,
everybody,
man.
but. Yeah, we love that shit, right?
Yeah,
So
if
again,
you guys ever go on our TikTok, man, just look in the comments. They're always coming at Rigo, and it's not me. I swear, it's not. I don't have no fucking troll accounts. Like this guy gets fucking dogged every
hey,
week.
it's
This guy
crazy.
gets dogged. Like
Hey, but
literally,
it's
I think
okay. Like I said,
couple weeks ago, I had almost the same pics as him, and he's the one getting dogged. Shit was funny.
hey, like I said, we got trolls out here, but it's all good. We
Yes,
we
sir.
encourage for them to come on here, but it seems that everybody's too scared to have their opinions and be heard. But
Yep.
it's all good. It's not for everybody, but we appreciate and love everybody. And that's your host here, Hollywood Rigo, and my co-host, Mr. Herney himself. And that's
Yes,
us
sir.
signing off.
Oh,
Peace out, everybody.
later.